The chill and snow of the past week in the Commonwealth have exemplified how spring is weather's version of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Over the last week, every corner of the state has been below freezing, as low as 14 in Bradford and 31 in Philadelphia. Of course, we still have a ways to go before freezing temperatures aren't a concern anymore. In Philadelphia and Harrisburg, the latest official 32-degree reading has been on May 11th in 1966. Now, in both Williamsport and Scranton, it's May 25th in 1956 in Williamsport and 1963 in Scranton. The latest freezing temperature on record at both Pittsburgh and State College was May 24th, 1963. And finally, Erie is a real outlier. The temperature dropped to freezing there on June 11th in 1972. If it wasn't for that day, Erie's latest freeze would also be May 25th. And by the way, Bradford has dropped below freezing as late as June 30th. A few comments about these late freeze dates. First, official temperatures are taken about 5 feet above the surface, but the air right next to the ground is often a few degrees colder, so frost can form even when official temperatures are above freezing. Also, areas that are more rural usually are colder later in the season. And finally, 5 of the 7 latest freeze dates that I showed you were in 1963 and 1966. That's not a coincidence. That was during one of the worst droughts in state history, and really dry air can lead to some really chilly nights. As far as snow during the past week, well, only the Philadelphia area escaped without a few flakes, but historically, measurable snow has fallen even in the last week of April in the southeast. The latest in the modern record was April 27th in Philadelphia, April 28th in Harrisburg. But in colonial times, there are accounts of measurable snow in early May in Philadelphia, even a 7-inch snow in Lancaster, May 3rd, 1774. Now, farther north, the latest measurable snow in both Williamsport and State College was on May 9th in different years. That 1977 storm that set the Williamsport record dropped 8 inches of snow in Tobyhanna. Now, the latest measurable snow on record in Pittsburgh occurred on May 25th. That was in 1925, half an inch. That's a real outlier, though. The next latest snow there was on May 10th. Now, if we look back into the 1800s at diaries and old papers, we can find references to measurable snow in Pennsylvania even in June. In fact, the latest documented measurable snow in the state may have occurred on June 11th, 1842 in Schuylkill County. The Pottsville Miners Journal reported that snow covered the foliage with its virgin drapery and giving to the summer livery rather a strange appearance. Couldn't have said it any better myself. And if you'll settle for just a few flurries, there have been sightings even in July in Bradford County, where historical documents from 1859 report a flurry of snow on the 4th of July, and so cold that persons wore overcoats at the celebrations. And speaking of mixed up seasons, how about this year? The first 10 days of April were colder than the first 10 days of January across most of the state, including Erie, Philadelphia, Harrisburg, Scranton, and State College. Fred will be here next with the extended forecast to tell us how much longer this April chill will last.